right, you're still on to the Wednesday edition of New Dawn, coming to you live from Ogun State Television in Abeokuta, the Gateway State. And right here this morning, we have another guest in the house. On December 19, 2011, United Nations General Assembly adopted Resolution 66-170 to declare October 11th, which is today, the International Day of the Girl Child. And before she came on set here, she's been giving us attacks here. God, we have to deliver the men. She was asking for the women. The girl, we have right in the house to look at this issue, a child rights advocate, a serial entrepreneur, a farmer, a teenager's coach, MODUPEOla OLATUNDE. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having me.
No, I want to assure you our producer is a woman.
No, I would have loved to have a woman beside me. Why am I in the middle of two men?
No, it's the producer. You should be the producer.
Fathers, it's not about you today, it's about us.
It's not, well, it's not.
Thanks. Thank you.
Congratulations, let's say the International Day of the Girl Child.
Thank you very much, sir.
For some time now, the girl child rights had been on, and and then it's getting more pronounced. Even, I think some years back for the women, it was the Beijing Declaration. Now, but in this our part of the country, in Nigeria generally, how would you assess, the emphasis that has been given to the girl child?
Well, honestly, last night I had a video of myself coming to OGTV for the past 5 years.
Okay.
And I was trying to have a deep thought,
Okay.
to console myself if things are actually going the way I'd envisioned it about the girl child.
Okay.
I won't tell any lie. Okay. I'm not satisfied.
Okay. Why?
I live in a country home.
Okay.
So from my end, I see more of the hazards that a girl child is prone to than those that live in the city.
Okay.
I move from one secondary school to the other. I do this every time.
Okay.
I talk to the ZEO, and it's a passion I have been carrying about for about 17 years now.
Okay.
Talking to this young girl, the importance of education and the need for sexual purity for now.
Okay.
But I think it's quite disappointing the rate at which they still go without any vision for themselves. I told you I live in a country home.
Yeah.
I have people around me, I have young girls around me that doesn't have any plan to take their education beyond secondary school. In fact, the intelligent ones amongst them barely waits to write their WAEC.
Okay.
Immediately after the WAEC, after 2-3 months, you've seen this.
Yes, okay.
And I keep crying that, okay, let's look at the situation of the country now, even with good education, sir.
Okay.
How much can you really get or offer?
Okay.
But without any formal education, at least primary education, what do you think you have for yourself? Not to talk of your community. Okay, I'm here. I was on Eagle FM about 2 Saturdays ago, and the father called. It was a female program too, but we had a father as our first caller today.
Okay.
And he said, how much of you, Auntie Dupe, do we have in our community?
Okay.
That was a very big question, but that is it. It's my passion. Okay. I have never been paid doing this, and I don't expect to be paid because it's a passion. Deep down, from deep down inside me, I said I don't know how many of me we have around or in the community, but as much as I can, I do my best to tell these young girls that there is more to life than I am being careful because I'm on air. I have these raw words I use when I'm with them, but I'm being very careful than just giving yourself cheaply. And after that, it's a life of regrets. I really appreciate this. I'm sorry, you see, I'm almost thinking about, I appreciate this day, and because this day, there is much emphasis.
Okay.
You know, everywhere. Immediately I leave this place, I have to rush down to Ijebu. I have 2 sessions in 2 different secondary schools. There is much emphasis. We make them know that there is more to life than just roaming about, collecting a pie and a bottle of Coke from Uncle Jide.
Okay.
There is more to life than just waking up and roaming about without any plan for your future. There is more to life than seeing the 4 corners of a classroom and after you don't have any plan. So I really appreciate this day because it gives us the opportunity to make us lay more emphasis on the things that are expected of them while we do our best, because they face a lot of challenges: discrimination, lack of good education, parental care. On a good day, they face these challenges that reduces their chances of having a great future. So I appreciate this day because it makes us lay emphasis on things that are expected of them too as a girl child.
Madam, if we are not getting it right, like you rightly said earlier, where do we lay the blame? But definitely it cannot be a public enlightenment campaign, because I know that there are a lot of campaigns embarked upon by NGOs, embarked upon media houses, year in, year out. Where do we then lay the blame?
I would say if the foundation is destroyed, you would see, let's look at an architect. When an architect wants to build something, you would see much work dwelt on the foundation. There are some things children are supposed to grow up with. The fear of God. I want to use it in English, but it is satisfaction. It's not satisfaction, but the English.
Contentment?
Contentment. God bless you. Contentment. Fear of God, contentment, manners, respect. There are things we should make them grow with. Honestly, once they have those things. I have a girl child. I have just one among 4. And her name is Demilade. There is nowhere I go to that I don't talk about her. It's not that I'm flaunting her. I'm being too boastful about her. It's not an easy task training up a girl child. But Demilade will tell you, Mom, I am being careful. I don't want to offend you. I don't want to do anything that will hurt you. She is that careful with me. Because I have put her feet on the right track. She's in school now, I'm not with her. But before she got admitted, she saw, I don't want to use hell. Once we place this girl's feet on the right track, there are some things they are supposed to grow up with. Once we do the right thing as mothers, as teachers in the school, teachers in the church, when we were growing up, sir, we were not just our mother's daughters. We belong to the whole community. I dare not do something wrong. Once I hear your daddy will soon be back, I won't even try it, because the community will so deal with me. I will be ashamed of myself to tell my father that I did this, I did that, and the community will belong to the whole community. But it has so degenerated to the point that your daughter is your daughter. Your girl child is your girl child. Though I'm not like that, but I don't have many of Auntie Dupe. You would see me across other people's female children, and I will try as much as I can to correct them once I see they are not doing the right thing. I was in a salon about 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, sir, and a young girl, an apprentice though, was boastful of how she saw a guy going and had a bottle of pet something. I don't want to mention brand names here. And she accosted the guy because she had not had that drink for a very long time. She doesn't know him from Adams. And the guy handed over the leftover of the drink. And she was floating it to her other mates. No. When she was saying it, I had to turn my head and I had to look for her. What did you just say? You bet for a drink. She said, Mommy, I've not had it in a very long time. And so what? You don't know this person. You saw him drinking. I told her, you shouldn't do that again. I had to correct her. I don't know, it's none of my business. But I had to correct her. She asked me when I told her. I said, the next time that guy sees you and he invites you to his house, won't you go? Honestly, she was sincere. She said, I just thought I will go.
Okay.
So there are some things that should be corrected from the foundation. Sir, a girl child that woke up in the morning that had a good breakfast would not have any need to accost any brother Tayo or brother Benga for food. That was one thing I had growing up as a female child. My father tried to give me everything. Over-pampering should not be for a girl child. You shouldn't over-pamper them. Just give them the basic needs. You shouldn't over-pamper them in the bid to satisfy their needs. They should not be over-pampered. So foundation matters, and foundation comes from the home, from the family.
Okay, now let me take you on that foundation, because people would always say women are their own enemies. You know, you talk about the fact that, okay, Uncle Jide, you were talking about Uncle Tayo, or whichever name you want to call them. These also were raised by women. So the question is, when a woman is raising a girl child, the instructions she gives the girl child is different from the instructions she gives the boy child. You know, so we now have a crisis on our hands. That's number one. And then number two, you will find out that some of your elderly women invite girls, use girls as bait for rich men. You understand? They do, you know, all sorts. So the question is, yes, are you really sure that we can put the blame solely on the girl? Is it not the mama herself, who might probably have had the same challenge that she's trying to see on her child, and she's not stopping that child, or she's getting some monetary refunds, or the one who is who has a kiosk, who has a beer parlor, or who has and uses the child as a bait? So it's a little clumsy.
Very, very clumsy, sir. But I'll still go back to my foundation. Raise a child the way it should go.
Okay.
She should go. And when she's old, she will not depart from it. Sir, as a growing child, my father had some things on me that I am using on my children now. I said something that my girl is in school. Our mates attend parties. They attend clubs. Because she didn't grow with a mother that did all that. She doesn't do it. You're very correct. Women giving young girls out. I have mothers around me. I told you I live in a country home, so I see all sorts, and my heart bleeds. You would see 35-year-old. I am looking very close to my 50. Okay. I'm not yet a grandma. I'm not sure I want to become one soon. Okay. But you see women between the ages of 30 and 35 that are grandmothers already in my community. So you're talking about their daughters being 15, 16, 17. In fact, that is very rampant around.
What you don't have, you can't give.
I love that quote. Come again, sir.
I said, what you don't have, you can't give.
You cannot give what you do not have. So if you look at the generation, if you look at the lineage, it is the foundation of the mother that has been wrong. Okay. That seems to be a continuation in the life of the girl child. Not talking about the female, sir. I appreciate that. But we lay emphasis on the girl child because of their gullibility. Okay. Naturally, we are gullible in nature. When I'm saying it, I try to give apologies to my young girls so that they don't feel offended. I tell them that even at Dupe at over 40 is gullible. I say it to them. So they don't feel offended. That gullibility is like a girl's world. Now, how do we work on that? How do we cop that? You have to be intentional about your life.
Okay.
What you want is what you want. There must be a reason why you're in existence. You're not just here to roam about. You're not just here to just wake up, put on a beautiful dress, use your makeup, and just be going about for Uncle Shola, for Uncle Dare to see you that you're pretty. You have a purpose. And for you to achieve your purpose in life, you must align with what exactly you want for yourself. For a male child, in my house, when my daughter is not around, God help my soul, those guys don't even consider me. They eat, they drop their plates in the kitchen. I didn't train them like that.
Okay.
But because they believe that job is for girls.
Okay.
You get me, sir? They just believe it's the world of, you get that for females. I find it difficult. They do it, but I would have to shout. For girls, there are some things, the girls bring joy. Whenever the lady is back from school, there is this joy. There is this relaxation for me. The whole house feels a presence.
Okay.
We know a girl child is back in the house. She gets to the kitchen, she's like, oh, look at you guys. She steps from the kitchen, she goes to the toilet, you know. Fine, I am doing what I can do, but my other, I don't want to use, they don't do as much as she does. The United considers everybody in our world. Others don't consider everybody in their world. They consider themselves first. The United has everybody first in our world and have herself as the last person. A girl child is a flower that needs cool water every morning.
Okay.
You nurture her, and when she is nurtured, she is different. She brings joy.
But as things are now,
Let's go a bit academics now. Several years back, the National Assembly came out with this act, the Child Rights Act. And of course, you want to agree that not every state of Nigeria presently has domesticated or have domesticated that act into their state. Of course, Ogun State have done that several years back. Now, don't you see some culture at play, perhaps from certain part of the country, that gave rise to this kind of thing that we're talking about? Because the act empowers the child, the child, at least to the rights to education, the right to certain privileges of life. But some cultures in this country frown at that, maybe because of religion, maybe because of their upbringing. Don't you see this culture, and of course poverty, as some of the causal agents of this illegal or abuse of the girl child we're talking about?
Culture. I would lay emphasis on that. I keep saying that I live in a country home. Culture. I see it around me. The belief. There is no time I talk about a girl child anyway that I don't say this. Even from birth, nature has cheated us.
how?
Once it's a baby boy, there is this loud ovation. Mama is a boy.
No boy was corrected. That mama is a boy was corrected. So don't let's go there.
I'm not even going there.
Oh,
Until tomorrow. No, unconsciously I did it.
Okay.
My brother had a baby girl recently, and I told him, you're lazy, look at you, breathe clean.
Okay.
You're
also guilty.
because that I told you culture.
Okay.
But in the olden days, a girl child, I'll come back to you, sir. A girl child was seen as a very good sign, as a very good omen, when she comes first into the family. So because even from birth, it happened to me. When my dad heard about my birth, it's late now, but I won't stop talking about it. And daddy got to the reception, and the nurses told him, congratulations, sir, your wife had a baby girl. He dropped everything he brought at the reception and went back home.
Okay. It happens like that. Some have done that, some have done
But
that.
before he died, I was his favorite. I live in Ogun State, he lives in Lagos. He would tell me what he wants. I'll cook from here and I'll take over to him. Honestly, I was this. Daddy was like, oh, why would this woman start with me with a baby girl? They see us less of a child. But I tell you, I was talking about them the other day, we have this care. We have this love. There is a way we take ourselves around the environment of the family. You now said something. In some communities, they see it as a complete waste of fund, of time, of everything
Training
to
of
give
children.
a girl child a formal education. Because they believe she's going to end up in the kitchen anyway.
Yeah.
But if such was believed about me, will I be here?
All right, now let's also look at this year's theme, you know, invest in girls' rights, our leadership, our well-being. How do you invest in girls' rights? What are the expectations?
Education.
Okay.
Education.
Now, just before you even talk about education, you were talking about the fact that you should give, you know, the girl child some. But there are even some girls who come from very good homes, who have been well trained. Some of them are children of clerics, you know. Some of them are children of rich men who don't even have any reason. But you still find out that things don't. How do we balance it?
As mothers, we should go spiritual.
How?
Spirituality is one thing we can't take away, the place of God. I would have loved to mention a name, but if I do.
But there are some societies that don't believe in God, for example.
But very few societies. Very few. You know why? I told you about a girl child being a flower that you nurture. While you nurture, you prayerfully nurture. You wake up in the morning, you wet, you speak a word. You wake, in fact, what you mentioned, I am close to a private school. I'm not mentioning name.
Okay.
And my daughter seems to have a lot of them as her friends. When she had to go to school, I told her I can't afford a private school.
Okay.
So she has a lot of them there. So, you know, when they meet,
Exactly.
when they chat, and my girl would be like, Mom, you won't believe. She's amazed or she's shocked. She's surprised. I don't know the right English to use with what they do with their lives. These are girls that have it all.
Oh, yeah.
On the other hand, we have some that we believe do not have it and would want to go wayward because they do not have it. On this hand, we have girls that have it all, but yet decided to go wayward.
So how can that be helped?
Intentionality is a game, is a personal game.
Okay.
If you have it all and your feet has been placed on the right track, sir, whose job is it to go to continue on that track? Is it my job, sir?
No.
Okay, you don't have it right, but your feet has been placed on the right track. You prayerfully go on your journey that when you get to this stage, you need something. Trust God, He will make a way. You get there. As an adult, about 2 weeks ago, I was depressed. Okay. I'm a poultry farmer, and poultry world since the beginning of this year has been, I don't want to go into that. I got so depressed. The only person I had to cry to at the point, in fact, unconsciously, I was down, I was weeping, and my 19-year-old son said, Mom, I've noticed you've wept for about a few hours, but what has changed in your situation? My 18-year-old son that I brought up. And that was a good question. It made me realize crying will not do anything.
Okay, don't let me be an
You're laughing
apostle.
at me.
Don't let me be an apostle of doom. But I'm worried that in 2015, the SDG, was a Sustainable Development Goals, of course, which encompasses the girl child and the child rights, was reviewed to now last or be achievable by 2030. That was in 2015, a review of 15 more years. Now we are in 2023. We have only 7 years to go. Do you see the narrative changing in 7 years? At least to achieve appreciably to the level we're proud of.
So let me be positive. Let me say yes.
But that yes is standing
He's pregnant.
It's okay.
Let me be positive, sir. You know, when they say good things requires prayers, and because even there are some policies. There are some policies that works against the girl child.
Okay.
There are some policies that bring serious downfall in the life of a girl child. So, sir, let me be positive. We are on it. And a word in Yoruba says, when we are not dead, there is hope.
Okay.
So there is life. Thank you. So, yes, it's achievable.
All right. Well, on that note, that is achievable. We want to believe that the rights of the girl child will be achievable, sustainable, and we will begin to have within our structure the girl child of our dream. We want to thank you very much for being part of the discussion this morning, this day, the International Day of the Girl Child, and I'm sure society will change, hopefully, and we will have the right perspective to our girl child. We're speaking with MODUPEOLA OLATUNDE, the child rights advocate, serial entrepreneur, a farmer, a poultry farmer, a teacher's coach, a teenager's coach actually. And then we'll be looking at the girl child. We hope that we will continue to nurture our children the way they should go. Well, that's the package for this week on the Wednesday edition of New Dawn. We'll be here again next Wednesday, but New Dawn will come your way again on Friday with another set of anchors. Well, New Dawn, like we say, comes your way Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, while the Yoruba edition comes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I am Tunji Akintayo. Femi Afolabi.
Well, thank you for being there with us. I'm sure you've learned one or two things and you've enjoyed our package today. Like Tunji said, we'll be back again next week on Wednesday edition of the New Dawn. And I want to commit you to the safe hand of God. Bless you.